you go to this file folder, and now.
Thinking about life. People going someplace.
Philosophizing on Wednesday?
Oh, I was just, yeah, it was
We're talking about here.
and then here at the so they just have a meeting and your license.
Did you say the CCD?
Yes.
Finish your conversations. Welcome. I'm closing the door on all of you. Hi everybody, welcome. Thank you so much, first of all, for everyone who brought something today for the Thanksgiving potluck. I don't know that it's ever smelled this amazing in here. This was phenomenal. Like, walked in the door, everybody was like smiling and happy and joyful. Thank you guys for showing up today. I really appreciate y'all being here. Disclaimer, a read. I will tell you there's new laws coming in regards to TCPA. I won't go into it. I'll save that for Broker Bob on another day. But there's new things coming down, so just pay attention. There is. And yes, there's new things coming January 1st. Reminder to please disconnect from the Wi-Fi if you are on it so that we can make sure we get this recording and uploaded after the meeting. Thank you, thank you. And if you're wondering why your old password is not connecting, go ahead and see Ari or Nancy after there is a new Wi-Fi password. It's posted, so just check that out if you need the new Wi-Fi. Okay, now that we've gotten all of that taken care of, I would like to welcome some people to our KW San Diego Metro family. So welcome aboard, Carrie. Welcome. I thought we had another welcome in there. There might be another welcome coming soon. We will be excited to see. They might not have snuck it in time for the presentation. So we'll welcome Carrie aboard. For my gratitude moment today, I will turn it over to you guys in just a second. But before we do that, can anyone who's a vendor partner in the room please stand up for just a moment? Vendor partners? Yes. Have you guys say your name and what you do, and then I'll say a little bit afterwards. But Danielle, I'll start with you.
Hi, I'm Danielle. I'm the owner at Morrison Property Inspections.
I'm Hugh. I'm the owner of California Quality Drywall. If you guys ever need drywall repairs, let us know.
Hello, my name is Israel Ibarra. I'm the owner of the painting company, just in case, painting jobs or something like that.
Ashley Beltry, this is Jacob Beltry. We're husband and wife team. We do property management and maintenance. So we work with realtors and property managers to maintain properties as well as managing properties. All right.
Thank you guys. Thank you for being here. You guys, the reason I wanted to highlight all of our vendor partners is because we are so grateful for them. I know all of you don't always see kind of how like the back-end systems work, but our vendors that come into our network, and they pay a marketing fee on that helps us do a lot of the things that we do, whether it's parties or bringing food to the potlucks. There are some delicious treats out here today. This is how we all work together to serve our clients at a really high level. So Ashley and I have been hosting networking nights for these vendor partners, and we'll continue to do that. So if you have somebody that you would like to connect us with, our goal is to help all of these vendor partners grow their business in tandem with you guys growing yours. So please let me know if you have an amazing vendor like these wonderful people that we have here today. I would love to get in touch with them and see if they're a right fit for our network. So thank you all, thank you very much. And I will say, Ashley and Jacob have an event on December 5th. There's a flyer right out front by the KW donations. There's a cruise that they're hosting, so details out there, or ask Ashley and Jacob. Thank you guys, thank you all for being here. Anybody else have a moment of gratitude they want to share? Yes.
I want to thank everybody that was able to join my event last Thursday for KW Cheeseburg. It was a success, so I just want to go ahead and thank you everybody that took the time to be there. Thank you.
Anybody else? Yeah, Stephanie.
I want to say a huge thank you to Ashley for hosting not one, but 2 of the business planning clinics this year. I always get a lot from it, and this year it like reinvigorated my.
Because we talked about sex.
Probably.
You had to be there. You had to be in business planning clinic.
Yeah, that is probably this.
Sounds like a good year for police. Good goal for 2020.
Anybody else have a moment of gratitude to share? That's a great gratitude ending moment. We'll go ahead. Okay, so as you guys know, last week we are bringing back the MVBBP, which is all of the mission, vision, beliefs, values that and perspective that we bring as Keller Williams. We wanted to focus on one today because this is something that a lot of you guys are living these values in your business, but I think one of the things that I've been realizing the more KW events I tap into is we're not always highlighting these things. So today, and Gary said I could share this, we had a fabulous conversation about a win-win or no deal situation that came up in his business. And he gave me permission to share that he was working, he just closed yesterday, congratulations. And he was in a situation where he met a senior that needed to move out of their home. As you guys know, he also has an estate sale company, so he was able to help this senior get out and get everything situated. But not only that, when he listed the property, he was able to find an investor buyer through another agent in our market center that's sitting over here, and find an investor that was a perfect fit for. It was a win-win on both sides. Steve's investor client, Gary's client, the senior that needed to move, found that deal. There may even be a third win coming up. I won't reveal anything. Gary's working on it. There's another lead potential that came out of that. Use that language with your clients. Like, you guys don't always realize that not everybody is looking at things the way you guys are. It's a win, it's win-win or no deal. Share that with people. I know you guys are all awesome here in this room. It's not everybody out there, and sometimes this industry gets a bad rap. So share those stories. And for those of you, if you're not currently in a transaction, talk about their situation. Talk about your agent colleagues that just found this amazing win-win, where there was a senior that needed to move, an investor that was ready to buy, and how that brought joy to the agents as well as the clients. So feel free to use that story as you're out there talking about how that helps you run your business. Any questions about that? I know we haven't gone through these as much, but I thought that was a great example. So thank you, Gary, for sharing that with me today. I appreciate it. Awesome. Bucket fills. Anybody else that didn't fill in gratitude that has a bucket to fill? We're Thanksgiving done, turkey done. Got it. We'll keep going. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to thank Bridget because she's the one who organized the Thanksgiving potluck, so thank you for that.
Thank you. Yes.
And Nancy and Ari.
Yes. And Nikki. And Nikki.
Yes, sorry.
Great job, Thank you to everybody. Broker Bob has been hosting Command Your Business. This is every Wednesday at 11. Anything specific you want to say? I know it's a workshop. Bring your computer.
Bring your computer with Command, with your contacts imported. And what other 4 laws of lead generation?
Build a database.
Oh, talk to people. Service your database.
Service it.
Talk to us.
Feed it consistently.
Feed it.
In a systematic way.
That's basically what we cover.
Okay, there is opportunity for more of us to understand the laws of the database. The laws of lead generation. Database, this is where my brain goes. So please bring your computer, come do that. Nancy, do you have anything to add on that? Or
Yeah, I'll mention it at the end.
later, okay, I won't give it away. You should be showing up for this class, I'll just say that. Nancy may have a surprise later. I'm moving on.
Oh.
Bridget, this is your slide, ma'am.
First of all, thank you to our staff for making our office so awesome for the holiday party, or for the potluck today. I didn't do anything but the usual yelling at you guys, making sure we don't just have desserts. Based on what I'm seeing out there, no wonder my belt is a little tight today, because there's a lot of desserts, so please take one out if you haven't gotten one on the way out. Okay, there is a lot of food. Great job, everybody, seriously, great potluck. Okay, so for the holiday party, I'm sorry I wasn't here last week to officially announce it, but I did. But as you know, Jason announced that we're having a gingerbread house competition, which sort of goes in line with us as agents. We're going to have several of our vendors who are sponsoring the event who are going to be choosing the winner. So make sure you give lots and lots of referrals to our vendors over the course of the next few weeks if you want to have a shot at winning. The other thing is I'm going to be sending out a Sign Up Genius. Have any of you ever used Sign Up Genius before?
Yeah.
So it is a little confusing. There's going to be two sections. One for you to RSVP for the event so we know how much food to get. And then there's going to be another one if you actually want to be a part of the gingerbread house making competition. So make sure you do both. I don't know what happens if you just choose one, but I'll probably just be really confused. So if you can do both, and then what we're going to do is we're going to wait till that day to pick the teams. So nobody can pre-plan their buddies and who's going to be the best designer, no practicing in advance. And we are going to provide the gingerbread houses. We've already bought 10, so I have enough for 30 people. So what I need to know is if there's going to be any more than that, we need to buy more. Okay, so thank you to our culture committee people who've been out on the lookout for good deals on gingerbread houses. And it's going to be December 12th from 3 to 6. If you have any questions, reach out to me. But you'll see the link. I'll post it in our Facebook group later today. So let me know if you have any questions.
Do we or can we bring some of our own gingerbread decorations?
Ooh, that would be on her team. That's a great question. I'm going to say no, because we want it to be a fair competition, and I know there's some really creative people. So, Stephanie, just give the rest of us a shot, will you?
What if they bring to share?
Like if it's something that you're willing to share with us, that's okay. This is a team building event, okay? So among sorry, we're gonna work on our culture here. It's December 12th. Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah, here in the office.
In a big red letters, see it now.
I promise. Okay, Mark, I want to do something really quickly with you guys because I had this moment where I realized, again, we're going back to basics. This is something that actually has been on a bunch of calls with me, Robert, Ari, all of the leadership team, and a lot of it is just going back to some of the fundamentals. And yes, Nancy has been there as well too. Now she's in person. It's so exciting. So I want to go back to the 3 L's. For those of you that read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, it's on page 40, so you don't have to memorize all this today, but I wanted you guys to go back to this because there's something kind of cool that happened in our market center. I promise this is all going somewhere. Who knows what the 3 L's are? Besides Broker Bob. Maggie and Amy, you can tag team together and answer it.
Please.
Yep.
Leverage.
Ooh. Round of applause for Maggie. For those of you that haven't been in the business very long and are still learning this, at the very bottom, we always start with leads, right? This is where we're starting down here. And what I will say is in this lovely book, it says, to succeed in real estate, you must have client leads. It's that simple. Until you have enough leads to meet or exceed your goals, there is no other issue. I just had a lovely conversation with Yvonne, who is launching her real estate business. And I went back to when I first started in real estate and realized I thought it was all about marketing. I come from 20 years in marketing. And what I didn't realize is it was about leads. When I started talking to humans, the people that I knew, none of my marketing really mattered that much. I mean, it did look really good. But it didn't really matter because people wanted to work with me because they trusted me, they knew me. And until I had enough leads, none of my marketing really mattered. And it took me living that as a failure to figure it out. So I'm trying to save y'all. Just skip to page 40. Leads is gonna be your first focus. Okay, so we're gonna jump ahead. You've nailed the leads part. You've got enough leads to hit all of your goals. Let me ask for, maybe some of you experience can actually give a good example. Why might I want more leads? Like, what does it give me the ability to do in my business when I have more people wanting to work with me than maybe I want to work with?
Leverage.
You can always refer them out.
All of that, right? And I heard Amy say, you can choose who you want to work with. How good does that feel to not have to work with the jerk that's trying to... It feels really good. But if you're desperate because you only have one lead and you need that to close, not a lot of choice. And you can always refer them out, right? So if you've got so much business, you don't know what to do, so many leads, trust me, there are people in this room that will take those leads from you and they will give you a referral fee. So now you've got leads, rocking and rolling, you're doing a great job here, then you're gonna go to listings. Let me ask, and I know there's people that know this answer in the room, why might I want one listing over one buyer client? What would that do for me in my business, to have a listing instead of a buyer?
Gives you more time marketing.
Yes, why does it give you more time? How long does it, yes, Broker Bob, you can answer that one.
Because the amount of time, energy, and effort for 5 listings equals 1 buyer.
Could be 10.
Yeah, in this
Could
world.
be as high as 10 to 1%.
So why would you not want to have 5 listings compared to 1 buyer?
Amen.
Right, so for those of you that haven't experienced that before, if you've only ever been, and my business started this way, I was only on the buyer side the first 2 years of my business. I was only ever on the buyer side, I didn't have any listings. It took me a lot of time. I did a great job with my clients, but it took me a lot of time. I got paid the same, maybe even better, all commissions are negotiable, when I started working on the listing side because of how I was able to market myself and I knew my value, right? Yeah.
To be devil's advocate, if you have 1 buyer, you technically have 2 transactions.
Sure.
Right.
Say.
And listings, typically when I have a listing, I'm able to market and get buyers out of that, right? So it's a funnel that keeps feeding itself. Read the book. It's on page 41. Feel free to take it up with Gary Keller also. I'm happy for you to do that. Listings are high leverage, maximum earning opportunity in our industry. Conventionally, your income having a listing sell is no different than closing on a similarly priced home for a buyer. What separates the two is the amount of time necessary to work them. Okay, so we've done a great job with leads, now we're into listings, and then at that point you get into leverage. I'm not gonna go too deep into that one because this is just supposed to be a market moment, not a market hour. But if you are at the point where you have so many listings, come talk to me about leverage. There's some things that we're launching in 2025 that will help you with that. So part of that is just to kind of refocus us. I know a lot of you were in business planning clinic with Ashley, so I wanted to come back to this idea that if you don't have enough leads, that is what you're focused on. That is your sole mission. That is what you are doing, right? Focus on leads. Now, what I will say is, some of you will focus so much on leads, you will get to the point you're ready to go to that next level. On behalf of Alicia, I would like to congratulate Sam and Nanny on their very first listing that they have coming up. Coach Alicia sends her best from Hawaii. She wanted me to have a special call out for you guys because she knows how hard you guys worked on the lead side, and we're excited for you guys to be leveling up. So this is on behalf of Coach Alicia. Congratulations.
Thank you, Alicia.
On the beach.
Oh, that's nice.
They don't like this.
One other congratulations. Nice to see you guys. Bye, guys. Thank you. And your partners. Bye. One other breaking news, congratulations that we have to do is that we have somebody in the room that has just been announced as president of the California chapter. Quickly, Sam and Yanni and I were having a conversation in the hotel lobby of the Luxor when they got to a family reunion a year ago, and we were talking about this thing called chispa. And kind of the three of us didn't really know exactly what it was. I was on an email list, and I like forwarded you one email, but we kind of all didn't know what it was. We just knew it was a community in KW. These two went out of their way to go find the people there in Vegas, meet with them, do the follow-up. That's how they got put in this position, is they did all of the work, they did all of the follow-up, and now they are going to be the president of the California chapter and be connected with people all over the country. So, please see your MCA for an award afterwards. We have a little something for you that you can cash in at family reunion this coming year to honor your celebration. So, congrats. Okay. Oh, one more congrats. Goody, congratulations. Devil's advocate back there. Despite you being devil's advocate, you do have listings and they're going through escrow partners and we love you for it. So congratulations. And I will say, it's been hard. We're watching the market. We've seen things going out. We've had this conversation in some of the masterminds. Buyers are picky right now. So congratulations, Vinny. We saw that you had the most escrows that made it through to the closing table. So congratulations. Good job. And for those of you that don't know Nicole and Christine yet, go down the hall, Suite 201, go meet them. They're your partners in escrow and happy to help. I don't think we have a mortgage here today, right? No, we are moving on. Send people to get pre-approved. Keep your pipeline. Broker update.
New law comes out January 1st, 2025. Be kind to each other.
What?
That's it.
That's a good law.
No, be kind to each other.
It's a broker law.
What's the law again?
Be nice.
What was the penalty?
Robert's got a penalty.
Well, no, the new law is you have to have buyer broker agreements January 1st for not only residential but commercial.
Oh.
So it's everybody. So, and it's governed by the DRE. So don't be called into my office because I get a letter from the DRE. So you have to have them. So upload them into my list. But be kind now. That's really it.
I will also add, if you guys don't know how to express your value that you're giving to your clients, you have a class in December, right, maybe, on that?
Yeah, we did listings yesterday. We're doing buyers in December.
So if, for those of you that, if it makes you nervous because you haven't done a lot of buyer brokerage agreements, come to his class in December where he will help you go through and explain your value to clients. So that's in December. Keep an eye out for that. It's a great class.
By the way, the 5 agents that were in the class yesterday, they all had listing appointments. They went and got a listing.
Oh, wow.
Property pitches. We have a property pitch. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have an upcoming listing, our first. It's in Escondido. It's 1,873 square feet, and it's for $889,900. It's a 3-2 and a half. So you have anybody interested in Escondido?
Single family?
Single family.
Is that the house or is that a stock picture?
I have more pictures to come.
That's the house. That is out.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any other property pitches? Great.
I have it, it's off market, but I have the listing signed, so it will be coming soon, probably about a month. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo behind, on Moss Street and 3rd Avenue, right behind the San Diego, golf course, country club golf course. $340, it is a probate sale, but she has full authority, so you guys don't have to worry about anything except the right paperwork, but I can help you with that. But yeah, it's, cute.
It's a great deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One sold, 1-bedroom, 1-bath, same as that one last month for $380. Now that one I think had been recently renovated, but yeah, still good.
Awesome. Any other property pitches? Yeah.
Hi, so I have two. Also, hi everyone, my name's Marlon.
Hi, Marlon.
So my first one will be coming in a few weeks. It's in Chula Vista, the newer Coda Vera community. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath townhome, right around 1,400 square feet. 2 years old, so it's one of the Lennar smart homes. So if anyone has buyers, definitely let me know. Second one is all the way out in Menifee. It's laid out as a 5-bedroom, but it's a 4-bedroom with a huge loft, 3-bath, 3-car garage home, and that one will be around $820.
Awesome.
Is there land?
What's that?
Land on the Menifee?
Yeah.
What kind of big?
How big is that?
Wineries,
No, this house has a lot of land that comes with it.
a lot of,
How big is the lot?
How big is the lot? Yeah.
oh,
Thanks.
7,000 square feet. It's, a 2-story, but 3 bedrooms are downstairs, 1 bedroom and a loft upstairs.
Yeah, thank you.
So I have a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, just went live, yesterday, around 1,700 square feet, about half an acre, maybe ADU up in Oceanside, 1.2. Like a buyer.
Any other projects? All right, ready? Yeah.
I had
Well, that's how we
something,
talk,
this is, hey, Jacqueline,
Got it.
this isn't a property pitch, but I had the pleasure of meeting Balfour, I don't remember this.
No, you said it.
He was invited by Sarah,
Yeah.
and he's a future agent, hopefully with us. Can we please welcome him?
So I'm going.
We're excited to have you and thank you, Green, for the introduction. So are you in real estate school?
Yes, right now. So coming here shows me some of the energy, the excitement around the business, so helps me get through the studying. So appreciate you guys for having me.
It does. It's fun. After you pass the exam, we have a lot of fun.
Awesome. Right on.
All right, Ashley.
All right. So 90 days from today, family reunion. We are already at family reunion. So I always highlight something that's happening 90 days out because what you are doing now shows up in terms of your income 90 days from now. And that's related to the analogy that I have been using in business planning, that there's nothing else in life that we have to wait that long for a result of. And if there were, we probably wouldn't do those things either. So going back to what Jacqueline highlighted as far as leads, I will say this last 2 weeks, I have had more conversations with our agents. And I hope and I think that in the conversations, I'm empathetic and I listen, but I'm gonna take a different approach right now and say, I've had more conversations with more of you who are whining because the market's hard and you don't have any business. And every single one of those conversations, also, the agents are telling me, and I'm not making my contacts. Every single one. So I'm taking a little bit more direct approach, making contacts, because you are in control of your income. That's it. I feel bad. I literally had 3 conversations today where you're on the edge of a breakdown because you have failed to do the activities that we know lead, and I'm making eye contact with a whole bunch of you because we've had this conversation, that lead to the actual income. Nobody's going to buy or sell a house with you unless they've talked to you. Well, can we all agree on that? And it's, if you sit and wait for them to call you, you will get lucky occasionally. You won't get lucky often or consistently enough to stay in the business. And if you don't know, when we go through the numbers, by the way, I don't want to scare anybody off, Balfour. I'm glad you're here. Not always this intense.
I like that.
Yes, but the number, this year has been rough. If we want to, it has been a rough 2-year period in real estate. Really rough. I don't care what market you're in, but you've made it through the last 2 years. And we should see a little bit of a rebound in 2025 because of the pent-up demand that people have been waiting for 2 years. They can only wait so long. So there's actually business out there to get, but you gotta open your mouth, guys. Your only job is to go instigate conversations with people about real estate. Nothing can happen past that. That has to happen first. Can we all agree on that? Yes. You can sit and wait for people to call you, and you won't be here this time next year. I hate to say that, but there are more agents that I personally know who have gotten out of the business in the last 4 months than I've ever seen in my career. And they didn't have to.
I know you've mentioned this in the past, how many agents have gotten out of the
We can't tell yet. So I just provided the numbers to our region. But they're based on March. March is the only time we get a real update in the numbers because for different reasons, NAR and the local associations don't purge the rolls of realtors until they've exhausted everything to get the money out of you for dues. And that's the end of March. That's the drop dead. So it will be interesting. What I'll say, what we know is last March, it was 18,074 agents in San Diego. 5,500 closed a deal the previous 12 months. So, and that's in this slideshow, by the way.
And that's just one deal.
One deal or more. So 18,000 people were realtors, 5,500 closed one deal or more. This next year, I don't think it's gonna be that high.
That's high.
Oh, it's not high, but remember, we're gonna look at the numbers in a minute. This September and October were two of the slowest ever on record. Now, November seems to be coming back a little bit. There were a lot of people who just slowed down and waited to see what happened November 5th.
Now we know.
Now we know. And there's a whole bunch of unknowns next year. So when I look at the market, and if this wasn't a change in administration and policies, I really do think 2025 has potential to be outstanding for real estate. We do have to keep an eye on how things are going to change and what may impact us. The reality is people still are going to get married and die and get divorced and have babies and have kids move out. And so there's going to still be sales. But damn it, you got to talk to people. And yes, you'll get the loving, compassionate, empathetic Ashley if we have a one-on-one conversation and in front of a room and say, do your freaking job.
Was it the lowest recorded nationally or
No,
California?
San Diego.
Okay.
All right, so family reunion is 90 days from today. I would love to have most of you, it's just in Vegas, and I know I think Vegas is a great place for a family reunion. Lots of reasons. Number one, it's close and you can drive, so it's cheap for us to get there. And yet you still need some money to go.
I will say December is $20 a night. There you go.
Chris would know.
$20. I booked it. Be here revenue.
All right.
Last year was more expensive.
The other thing I will say is, we will talk a lot about it between now and then, and we will inspire you hopefully to go. But at the same time, we can't describe it. It's indescribable. You have to go experience it to know really what it is. It's a combination of all of this though. Culture, learning, networking, connecting, and in Vegas, lots of parties. My first family reunion was 2005. It's what convinced me to join the company. And it was in Vegas, and I did not sleep for 4.5 days. All right, so this is just San Diego Metro. You guys, this makes me feel so good because in spite of a shitty market, look what we did in October. Truly, we outperformed the market amazingly, and that's continuing in November. But those are huge numbers to have those big of an increase year over year. Incredible. All right. So through the end of October, we have taken 5,000 more listings and a little more than we did last year, which is great. We've had more optionality this year. What's interesting is we didn't sell anywhere near the difference. Now, there's a lot of reasons for that. When we look at the breakdown in price, a lot of what's not selling or moving quickly is over $2 million. So if we were absorbing a little bit more here, but kind of hard to buy a $2 million house when an interest rate you're giving up is 3% and you're going to 7.5%. All right, as of this morning, Ari, what time did I send to you? Do you even know what time I sent this to you this morning?
Yes, because I was over here.
What time?
It was like 6:15 or earlier.
So you all know I got up at 3 to finish these this morning. So these numbers are real as of this morning. fresh. Not much of a difference compared to last month, about the same time. We are seeing the traditional fourth quarter slowdown. October typically is the highest of the last 3 months of the year. November is the lowest of the last 3 months of the year, and then December pops up. Okay? That's basically what we're seeing. Go fast. So this is 2002 to 2004. Starting the blue is 2022 is the blue line. 2023 is the red line. 2024 is the yellow line. What do you see if you just look at the size of those bars?
This year's better than last year.
Now, this is in terms of listings, and yes, we took 5,000 more. Where did we take those? Actually, everywhere except 6 million. Little more in every listing price point except for that 6 to 7. How is it compared to 2022?
Well, similar in the 1 to 2 million. Yeah.
Here's what's happened in a 2-year span. Yeah, we've lost a significant amount of the properties under 600,000 because the prices have all pushed up in just 2 years. So I've said a few times that this is going to not exist anymore. Meaning property, this is condos and houses in San Diego. We've only listed 765 total properties in the county through the end of October under 400,000. So I'm gonna predict by the end of 2025, we won't have that category anymore. If we only listed 765 properties in 10 months of a year, by next October, that might be a couple hundred. There's no reason to even have the category at that point. We just roll it up. Okay. Sold kind of reflects the same thing. 2022, look how many more we sold under 7. Because it's just disappeared. Disappeared because it's moved up. Listed just the last 2 years. So almost 24% more than last year. That's significant. That's a significant bump. And our absorption rates are still good, which is one of the reasons I think 2025 we're going to be really good. How many of you since the election have had people actually start unsticking out of the molasses? It was almost. No, not yet? Yeah, there's a lot of hands in the back of the room. Either way, we knew either way. Once we knew what direction people would start moving. Because once you've got, even if it's not a reality you like, once you've got stability in what's happening going forward, it allows you to get out of the molasses. So we should start seeing a lot more movement. And we have all these listings that are sitting there. How many of you have a listing that's sitting longer than you would like? Yeah, because you got stuck in the molasses with everybody else. And you may need a price adjustment. Sold? Do you think if we actually had listed more under 800,000, we would have sold it?
Yes.
Yeah. Without a doubt. The demand is there for that price point. It's going to be interesting to see if we can get this move up buyer to, again, exchange their interest rate and move up now into the next categories. That's our next thing we need to tackle. And again, people can only stay in a house so long. They're going to, life is going to show up and they're going to have to make a move. So this is as of this Monday morning. This was Monday. This was last month. So all I'm showing you here is in each of the price points, houses available today. And by the way, all of these under 400 are manufactured, all of them. And there's less than 70. Not a whole lot of choice until you get into the 950 plus.
Does that account for like 55 plus? Like,
Yeah, I don't take
so
those
that's
out.
in there too. So
That's in
half
there
those
too.
aren't accessible.
These are mobile homes.
But most of the 55 plus communities are actually in this price point right here. They're not down here. These are manufactured.
No.
Or cabins on leased property in the mountains.
You don't do mobile.
Huh?
You don't do mobile.
I don't pull mobile, but you know how many agents put mobiles in single family? I don't pull those out, and that's, yeah.
So you don't pull mobile?
I don't pull it as a category. This literally is detached, that's what I search. But within the detached category, agents put mobile and manufactured occasionally. And again, this is last month, so not much of a shift. A few fewer properties, which you would expect, because November, December, the only people who are on the market are really, really must-have-to motivated sellers. Okay, condos, same story. Again, right now, under 400,000 in the entire county. Remember, we only listed 734 properties total all year under 400,000. The majority of those are obviously condos. But that's it. You got a buyer, and they're entry level. They don't have much to choose from. And again, this is the entire, for those of you who are new to us, all of San Diego County. So from the Oceanside northern border down to the Tijuana border, all the way out to practically Tucson. It's a large county. It's a large landmass, and it's not a lot of houses and condos, guys. All right, so here's our absorption rates. Now, how I look at this is we look at the number of properties that are listed in 1 month, or for this particular slide, all the way through October, versus houses and condos that sold in the same time frame. So if we listed $2 million and above, 1,956 houses or properties in the county, other way, we listed 3,642, we sold 1,956. So in a 10-month period, we absorbed 53% of that inventory. Okay? To have absorption rates this high, and this is has been our normal for the last 10 years, but they're really high. And I think we forget that this indicates in every single price point we have excessive sellers markets. We would have to see absorption rates at 15% for it to be a buyer's market. So we're never going to see a buyer's market again. And we just forget that that's, when people say, well, we're waiting for everything to turn around or we're waiting for prices to come in, it's not going to happen. And you can look at the numbers and go, we'd have to go from a 53% absorption rate to 15. What would it take for that to happen? An absolute crash. So it could happen, but if that happens, the rest of the economy is screwed too.
You're not buying a house anyway.
Yeah.
What's like the appreciation rate for the past 2 years? Is there like a general number?
Yeah.
It's in the slide.
Yeah. When I get to the average sales price slide and the median sales price slide, you'll get your number.
Don't embarrass me. Okay, got it.
Welcome to your first staff meeting.
Old horses.
Now, this gives you kind of historical look back 10 years. Even though I'm excited that our listings are up versus last year, they're still low when we look at historically. So 2023 and 2024, we have taken it in the shorts. And trust me, when you all are coming to me whining, you just don't get to see when I'm whining. And it happens. It has been, I want you all to realize, it has been the worst market I've ever seen. I got in the business in 1999. What happened in 2008 and 2009 was a cakewalk compared to the last 2 years. And I never thought I would say that.
I would say that NJ.
I would go back to 2008 and 2009 right now. No problem. Now the good news is, well, here's why. We lost units. I should probably, you know what I'll do next month? Can you make a note and text me? Sorry, but I'll pull the 2008 numbers and compare them to the last 2 years, because I haven't done that. But what I know is we sold a shit ton more units back then. And so even though people were stressed out and the overall economy sucked, We had the units to sell.
Yeah, but half of them were short sales.
So what? It was harder business, but you could still make money.
Yeah.
We know 74% of realtors nationwide have not sold a deal in the last year. Those numbers were not the same back then.
What percent?
74.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So,
Nationwide have not sold a house in,
Yep.
well, that's 74%.
Yes. Anybody surprised by that, or kind of what you're seeing out there?
Well, yeah, there's a lot less available.
Now, wait a minute, so that's new listings. Well, I'm gonna hammer that home. What I want you to know is you've survived the worst of it. I do believe that. We got through the worst of it. Most of you are feeling it now in the same way we were feeling it as brokerage owners about a year ago. I believe we hit our low point about a year ago, and individual agents hit their low point in September. Fewer property, and I don't have the number because we did October, but fewer properties sold in September of 2024 than have sold in any month ever in San Diego real estate. Where does that show up? Your GCI. So one of the things we look at, by the way, before I go to pendings, is how much money you all make every month. And we have been averaging 1.1 million GCI monthly, meaning all of our agents are splitting that 1.1. In September, it was 695. So I know, because I can look at the numbers, why you're all freaking out. So start talking to people. Feel me? So here's our actives. This is just a 4-year span. We're coming back. We have more selection than we did last year. And hopefully, next year, we'll see this get back above the 3,000 properties. That would be awesome to have a higher inventory number as buyers are finally going, we gotta do something. Pendings. So these are all the Octobers. How are we doing historically?
Not that bad.
Coming back from last year. Would be so nice. These were the 2 top years ever in San Diego real estate. So when we compared this year to the 2 top years, and if you took business planning with me last week, I over here showed how in 2020, 2021, realtors in general were making more money, so they were spending a lot more money. And through 2022 and 23, when things got slower, they were still spending that kind of money. And now in 2024, they're going, oh shit, I don't have any money. That's why it feels so right now. And then our solds. So remember I said last month? This was last month. For houses, lowest ever. We popped back a little bit. Median sales price. Here. So over the last 10 years, this goes back to October 2014, we have gained on houses with a median sales price $559,000, which equates to a 114% increase.
114% increase in the last 5 years?
10 years.
10 years.
Which averages out at 11.4% a year.
Okay, thanks.
And just last October to this October, it was 9.3. Increase in median sales price in the county for houses. For condos, it wasn't quite that high. It was still over 100%. So 10% a year. And just a slight increase over last year because, as I think most of you know, we're in a weird condo market right now for lots of reasons. And we actually were way down most of the year. We happened to pop up last month. And for those of you new to the business, there's litigation that's going on with a lot of condos. There's new rules in terms of decks a lot of our HOA associations are underwater, don't have the reserves that they would need. So it's gonna take a little while for this heart attack to smooth out and get back on a good trajectory. However, even with all that, over 10 years, you've made some good money. Our averages follow the same pattern. The average house in San Diego was 1.398, almost 1.4 million in October. Compared to 624 10 years ago, 123% 10-year gain, 12.3%. That's a lot of money. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Condos, exactly 100%. We doubled in the last 10 years. And I will tell you, for those of us who have been around for at least 10 years, I promise you, we've all said that's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. Well, guess what? There's no other big factor, unless we have a complete crash of the overall economy, that's going to change that trajectory. This is what happens when you have supply that is not enough for the demand you have.
Well, that's the difference between 08 and now. 08 was because nobody had equity. Now they all have equity. And my friend that manages a bank, what he's seen is some homeowners are coming in and refinancing.
They have to,
They're
because they have so
lower.
much consumer debt.
They're lower percentage loans and going into a higher percentage.
They have
I've seen
to.
an uptick in that.
Well, I read I actually, so you all know, I don't actually enjoy math or numbers or statistics, but as a business owner, it's my responsibility to know that. And over my 25-year career, I had to teach myself this stuff because it does not come naturally. So I read a lot of financial news because it's not a natural thing. And I just read 2 articles about, and I've talked about it in business planning, credit card debt in our country is higher than it's ever been.
Oh, yeah.
1.2.
And they were already, people in general, were already maxed out, and then the interest rates came up. So now they're honestly just trying to service the interest. There's no reduction in principal happening on credit cards. And how many of you are between 18 and 35?
Flyers.
Sorry, that is really funny. So for the few of you in here, this is a terrifying stat. I actually read this last night, right before I went to bed, and I went, I should not be reading financial news before I go to bed. 5% of the population between 18 and 35 are delinquent on their auto loans. It's higher than it's ever been.
What percent?
Now, 5%, but here's the consequence. If you have a credit card, what happens if you don't pay?
You just keep going.
More rates.
You get a date on your credit, but it's unsecured.
Yeah.
What happens if you get behind on your car payment? And if your car is necessary to go to your job to remain gainfully employed, so the financial markets are kind of freaking out about this. Because what do you do if you've got 5% of the population that is your working age people that now lose their mode of transportation? That's why it's a big deal. By the way, anybody besides me ever been in a financial pinch?
Oh, yeah.
Anybody besides me missed a car payment at some point in their life? It's the kind of the last thing you miss. Yes?
Yes. Okay.
Your car and your rent or your mortgage are kind of the things that you make sure, if you can, get paid. Everything else can wait. So if the car payment is getting missed, what else is getting missed? How do they dig out, especially at that age group? How do they dig out of that?
Become a realtor and start selling.
Talk to people. That is a perfect answer.
After the election, didn't know what the rates went up.
The which market?
Well, guys, anybody tired of the word unprecedented or uncharted territory?
Yes.
We truly are, because we were talking a little bit, we're going to go 180-degree opposite from the policies that have been running our government for the last 4 years. We don't know what they're gonna be, but we know some of the things that wanna happen. And people in the financial markets are freaking out because the tariff conversation. And the impacts on a 10 to 30% tariff will be devastating. Now for us, I still feel a little bit optimistic because we've been in a 2-year horrible real estate recession. However, we're the only industry that's really felt it. You really have. They had to tank our industry in order to save us from horrible inflation. But if those tariffs are actually put in place, the inflationary pressures will skyrocket and everybody will feel it. Now, what does that mean in terms of us and selling property? We could be in a short sale situation again. If people lose their jobs. So we will still have sales. We may have to adjust how we're serving people. What I also think is people are really gonna need us. We've been blessed with relatively easy conversations. The tariffs come in, they're not gonna be easy conversations. And we'll see. Time will tell. Median active market time, up to 25 days. I think I predicted last month that we'd probably see 30 days by the end of the year, because this will just trend up in November and December. So if you have a listing and you've been on the market 25 days or more, it's time to go talk to your seller and say, we missed the pricing. We gotta adjust it. And we should probably be pretty aggressive because your best time to sell is by the end of December right now. Your motivated buyers are in the market. So if we get the pricing right, we're probably good to go. People, that's why December always pops up in terms of sold units. There are people who have to close by the end of the year.
And I had a thought when you said that. If you priced it, you could have been right when you were pricing it, but now also there were some people with expectations that interest rates were going to drop. Instead, they went up.
Right.
So they also are now paying more for that same priced home. So even if you did a great job pricing it in the first place, if you're at this place, you're now also adjusting for that interest rate that didn't go the way people were hoping. So there's that.
Well, and all those other financial factors. If they had $10,000 on credit cards, that looks different with a 20% interest rate versus a 29% interest rate. All right, next month's supply, that has inched up too. I think we are going to see above 3.5 months by the end of the year. Yeah, that's kind of a cool thing. We haven't been at that level since back in 10 years ago. So 3.5 months of inventory means if we stop, that's what I predict will be by the end of December. If we stop listing property, we'd absorb everything in 3.5 months. Means your buyers have more choice. That's essentially all it means. And then average list price compared to sales price, we're still hovering in that 97 to 98% category, and that's a really healthy place to be. For those of you who weren't around, see these really big lines? That was the summer of 2021. We were at 107% list price to sales price ratio because the buyers, there was so much demand and buyers were fighting for properties that they pushed the prices up that high. That was not healthy because you didn't know what to offer. Did Bridget leave?
Yeah.
Because I think she still has the record. Yeah, it's like $500,000 over.
Yeah.
We joked that you would give a puppy with your offer, so you could puppies are better. All right, so this was kind of fun to do. Everybody take a deep breath. I have put this little quote the last couple months, because this one for me is about you guys recognizing, being in our industry, you have to get your foot in the door. You have got to figure out how to own real estate. Everything else is for the conversations with your clients. This is for you. And it can seem like it's not attainable. You gotta figure it out. Get together with 3, 4, 5 friends, get together with family members, get your foot in the door and buy something. Because as we just talked, houses are going up 12% a year on average. So every year you're not in the market, you're missing out on that 12%. You following me? So the question I have put on here is what would happen? This is the price per square foot. Remember, we're talking about this much space. It was $313 for condos back in 2014, and now it's $671. This much space in a condo. For houses, it was $337, and now it's $663. So that's essentially double, yes?
Yeah.
And what would happen, what is going to happen, because we have agreed, unless we have a complete economic collapse, the supply is not going to meet the demand. So it is likely we will see this doubling every 10 years, yes?
Yes.
So I've put that out there to have you think about it. I did the numbers on the next slide. You know, I'll breathe deeply because I almost pooped my pants. And I'm pretty good with numbers. But here, I went 40 years out, so 4 decades from now. Some of you here will be around, some of us won't.
No way.
Anybody squeezing?
Yeah. So that means we'll be making millions of dollars a year. Like, it'll just like everything just keeps going up with.
Well, yeah, that's how
It looks insane, yes? And so I did this just for my own kind of, I wasn't even gonna put it in the slideshow, I went, wait a minute. I've been thinking about that question, but I never did the math, and I was nowhere close in my fantasy. So when I did this, I'm like, there's no way that the average sale is, but in 40 years? How many of us have heard the stories about somebody bought their house here in the 70s for $12,000? That's what that looks like. So buy something now. If I could wave a magic wand, every single person in this room would buy something in 2025. At least be a part of something. And then hold it for 10 years. Now, this is based on houses. This is all house prices, why I put houses. But the same math is there for condos. It's crazy. Again, it's crazy because we can look backwards. His history is easy to look back on, right? And see what the data is. It's really hard to imagine. When we say set your goals for 10 years out, who can really figure out what 10 years from now is going to look like?
Here it is.
Well, the numbers, that's what it looks like. If we just continue the current trend, by the way, I would guess it will actually get more intense. In a market like San Diego, where we can't build more land. Population growth is probably going to continue to increase, which means we'll have higher demand with more limited supply. So 10% a year may not be high enough. Crazy. You're welcome for that one.
10 years actually does, after sitting in your stats for a couple of years now, the 10-year one doesn't actually look that crazy, right? That actually feels like, yeah.
Yeah, the 10-year one.
The 40 years feels crazy, but the 10-year feels very
Yeah.
My house,
I agree.
literally, it's just an average San Diego house out in Hamul, and my appraisal this year came in right around here. I bought it for $730 in 2018. For me to think my just normal, it literally is a normal house. There is nothing extraordinary about it. It's gonna be that? Oh my gosh. And then double?
Well, you have to think about it too, that's most people's retirement.
Yeah.
They're sitting on houses, and they're like, this is all I've got, and that's their retirement.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's gotta last them.
Yep.
Until they die.
All right, so did we send this out? Are we gonna send it out? All right. And the last two are the monthly indicators and the housing supply overview. I'm not even gonna spend time on this. These are just the ones from SDAR. Where I want you to always remember is how blessed we are to be in Southern California. Not only can we be investors and get that appreciation on our side, we are significantly higher than the national average and national median. So go talk to people. It's gotta start there. And we are in control. We just have to wait for the results to show up. Gotta continue to do the activities. Do activities that you enjoy, so you continue to do them. So that at family reunion, you can have a good party in Vegas.
Nancy, before you're done, Nancy has something.
Come on.
And if you go, you'll get deals while you're going.
There you go.
Okay.
Are we all happy? Again, Nancy's back?
So what we're trying to do is make our team meetings more fun. And always fun. And sometimes fun involves money, which is why I brought it back. But here's the thing, pull out your phones and type in the office phone number, 619-233-5935.
To text.
Okay? Let me know when you guys are ready, okay?
Say the number again.
Text.
Say the number again.
233-5935. Nikki, have the phone ready? 233-5935.
Are we calling?
Okay, you're gonna text, okay? At the count of 3, you guys get to send me, the first person who sends me 3 over S&P vendors, affiliated vendors.
So this is 3 people that you work with somehow in real estate. They could be, like we had a painter here today, they could be landscapers. 3 people that you know that you work with that are rock stars that you would want to be in our affiliated network. So 3 people you work with in your business.
And the winner who does that first will get an Amazon gift card. So ready? At the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Nikki, you just read the number out loud.
I got one. You're not supposed to play, Mr. Robert.
Nancy's not wearing underwear, by the way.
Oh my God.
I got 2. I can't tell who they're from, but
There's a bathroom.
Being recorded, Robert.
I got 3.
You got it? Okay, read the phone number, Nikki.
Well, here.
Okay, and the winner has, good job. Okay, Erica West. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're gonna get a video, okay? 1, 2, and 3. Woo, guys!